Oasis Audio presents Unleashing the Power of Rubber Bands by Nancy Ortberg, read for you by Rebecca Gallagher. Introduction. I love great leadership. I love it when I'm able to observe it, love it when I'm the recipient of it, love it when I'm able to do it. Great leadership takes my breath away, and I've seen it in some of the most surprising places. It is often spotlighted in large corporations, but I have seen it in a rural McDonald's, a library, a veterinary office, and a small church. I've seen it in a waitress, a sales clerk, and a bus driver. I've seen it in an accounting group, a public high school, and a nursing home. I've even seen it at the DMV, but only once. Great leadership is occurring in the hands of quiet and unnoticed people who are creating environments where people can bring the best of what they do to what they do best. But you will never see these inspiring leaders on the cover of a magazine or in the 6 o'clock news. We greatly underestimate where great leadership is to be found and what we can learn from it. If we only expect to find it in the hands of those select few in positions of obvious power, we are poorer for having overlooked the beauty and strength that's to be found in unexpected places. Most leaders want to lead in strong and admirable ways, even if what they lead is never the biggest or the best. And most leaders who do it well find ways to develop strong leadership at every level in the organization. They know how to unleash the power that is already in the organization and how to fan the flame of that power in productive and transformational ways. My hope is that in this book you will find a simplicity and practicality that inspires hope and come away with a sense that you can do leadership better as a result. And by practicality, I don't always mean a clear step-by-step plan. While that is important, I believe that if plans precede the why, they nearly always result in less than optimal performance. I hope that this book provokes, stimulates, irritates, and ignites you to better leadership. Great leadership is much more about creating a culture, and cultures transform people in much more profound ways than systems do. Systems and processes should always support the vision, but they should never be the vision. When you spend time plumbing the depths of why, you will then be free to formulate the how, and you will see that there are many great ways to tackle that how. I also want to show how closely leadership is tied to both character and to God, because I think the leader ought to be the most transformed person in the organization. A leader works with everyone, sets the tone for an organization, and creates a culture in the office. If you are listening to this book and are not a Christ follower, I guess you could just substitute higher power for God. But I would invite you at least once or twice to consider how deeply great leadership is tied to the nature of God. Much of what gets done in leadership has a strikingly non-linear approach. There is no clear-cut, step-by-step equation that guarantees results. It's the convergence of conditions that creates a climate where people and organizations prosper. I'm guessing since you're listening to this book after reading the title, you're not looking for a book that presents a linear approach to leadership. But just in case that is what you are looking for, I recommend you put this one down and keep looking. I have read many linear books on leadership, some of which have been enormously helpful. This book is not one of those linear books. Some of my best friends think in that sequential, ordered way and do great leadership from that perspective. I have even hired, worked with, and benefited greatly from them. But that is not how my mind works. Which brings me to the Post-it note. The first year I led Axis, I was sitting at my desk one morning before the rest of my staff arrived and the meetings and flurry of activities began. On the corkboard that hung above my desk were pictures of my kids, a copy of our vision statement, a strategy spreadsheet created by some of the friends mentioned above, and a postcard of Bora Bora. I really liked our vision statement, and our strategy was well thought out. I had little doubt that if we continued to pray and execute against the strategy, we would make